CRN Digital Talk Radio, Chuck Wilder here with Paul Stern up there near the Hollywood Hills and the network. And we are live across America on this radio station or cable system and around the world at crntalk.com, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Blueberry, Blackberry, any way you want to get us. Hey, tomorrow's guest, Kimberly Dvorak, Human Events, Washington Guardian, San Diego County Political Buzz Examiner, and correspondent for CW News 6 in San Diego. Her latest is Obama's Iranian nuke deal DOA. D.V. Kidd, author of Why a Bankrupt America and Blind Loyalty, looking at her latest article. If you're ready for this, it's called Taking Down Hillary Clinton Once and for All. Yes, sir. Hey, right now, my privilege to go to Alex Newman, regular contributor to The New American. And Alex is co-author of the book, Crimes of the Educators, How Utopians Are Using Government Schools to Destroy America's Children. He earned a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Florida. Alex has been working for TNA as a freelance journalist, also owns a consulting firm. His frequent topics include economics, education, finance, banking, business, and politics. Alex grew up in Latin America, Europe, and Africa, giving him a unique insight into world events. Alex, welcome back, sir. Glad to have you again.
Thank you so much for having me, Chuck. I appreciate it.
Hey, listen, what an article you have about smart meters, exploding smart meters, and how they're now using them to spy on our water. And, boy, I've done a lot of stories on smart meters, and not too many people are too smart about what smart meters are doing. But, you know, before I get to that, Alex, I want to say, hey, congratulations to you and Sam Bloomingfield, because today, I believe, is the official date that the book is released. Crimes of the Educators, it's just released today, right?
That's right. It should be hitting stores across the country today. So,
and I am in the process of reading that book, and in a week or so, I plan to have Alex back and talk about it again. And if you would like, right now, I'd just like to let the listeners and let you tell them a little bit about the book. I know one of my least favorite subjects, well, you know, I don't know how to put that. I do like talking about it because I like to get the word out. Maybe it's one of my least favorite things, and it's called Common Core. And your book points out the fact that, you know, if you don't want your child taking these Common Core tests, you need to check out the states, I guess, because you can legally say, I ain't going to do it. And what surprised me was when I was looking at these statistics in your book about New York State, and I think there was, let me see if I have that. Washington Post reported that about 60,000 New York students refused to take the state's Common Core aligned test last year. I don't think a lot of people realize you don't have to take those tests.
Well, that's by design. You know, the educational establishment wants everybody taking these tests. For one, it's kind of the enforcement mechanism for Common Core. You know, Bill Gates publicly said as much in 2009 when he was speaking to the state legislatures. He said, you know, these tests are going to get all the curricula aligned with Common Core, and that's why they're so important. They also serve another function in that they're gathering huge quantities of data on your children. This is all going to the U.S. Department of Education. They're building a dossier on basically every student that they can get their hands on, and this is going to follow them for their whole lives. You know, they use the words cradle to career education agenda, wow. And you know, it's a perfect description of what they're doing. They want babies from the youngest possible age in government care getting, you know, their steady dose of indoctrination and propaganda and brainwashing, not for any real educational purposes. And they're building giant files. And people think, oh, okay, well, they'll just know, you know, how my student did in school and that kind of stuff. And that would be absolutely wrong. They are gathering data on everything, political views, religious affiliation. They're trying to monitor children's reactions to certain things, like when they're pushing the homosexual marriage and the abortion. Mm-hmm. They've got all kinds of unimaginable technology. I mean, it would sound kooky for me to even try to explain it, but I encourage people to go read the Department of Education about it. They have got some really, really trouble in the works that the government is financing, and they are quite literally dossiers on every student. And so that's, I think, one of the reasons why across the country this movement to opt out of these Common Core tests is, as parents figure out what's going on here, they don't want their children to participate, and who can blame them? And the bureaucrats don't want people to know that. Their federal funding and all this is dependent on coercing everybody into this nightmarish system. But, the word's getting out there, so that's encouraging.
Well, speaking of the word getting out there, I got to tell you, if you are a parent, even a grandparent, all right, you need to be concerned about your child's education. And if you read this book, Crimes of the Educators, it is a wake-up call. And, it is so obvious, Alex, that if you look at America overall, how we are now rated so low in our learning process, in our schools, and our training. People say, well, I just don't understand. I guess kids are lazy or whatever. It's by design. And you read this book, you're not going to, it's scary. It's almost sounds like fiction. And Common Core is, as you say, the next phase in the education establishment's destruction of American children. And people say, oh, what are you talking about? Why in the world would they want to destroy America's children? Why would they want to dumb them down? Let's say maybe you want to become a communist nation, socialist. You don't want people to think on their own. Boy, this book is it's fantastic, and I'm not going to get into all of it. I probably could today, just from the amount I've read so far. But like I say, I'm going to have Alex back here. We're going to spend one full hour talking about this book, and if you want to get a copy of it, I know WorldNet Daily. I know they're selling it. Is that the best place to go?
It's published by WND Books, so people can get it at the WND Superstore. It's also available on Amazon, and it should be in pretty much every reputable retailer across the country, all the big bookstores, Walmart selling it, and Target, and all these things. So people should be able to find it just about anywhere.
Once again, it's called Crimes of the Educators, okay? And you are the co-author with a guy who's been writing books about education forever and ever and ever, Sam Blumenfeld. And today, the official release day. Now, there's a lot of scary things out there, and one of them is smart meters. There's a lady named D.V. King who writes for News with Views, and I don't know if you're familiar with her or not, but she's a lady that really first brought smart meters to my attention, and how people were locking their gates and refusing to let them put them up there, and boy, it was a battle, and how they're affecting your brain, and there's some scary stuff out there, Alex, and thank goodness there's people like you and DV Kid and a few others that are talking about these smart meters. Now, a lot of people don't realize that these things are actually blowing up and catching on fire. Let's talk about your article that you wrote a few days ago. In California, exploding smart meters spy on your water use. Exploding? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've been covering this for more than a year now, and at first people said, "Oh, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. These aren't going to spy on you. There's nothing dangerous about these." But now it's happening all across the country. First, let's talk about the exploding. This really started coming out last year. It had been going on basically since the smart meters were starting to be rolled out. Of course, the stimulus package. We needed a stimulus to get the economy back on track. And Obama did a lot of nefarious things with that. One of them was financing the rollout of these smart meters and what he called the smart grid, which was supposed to make our grid so much more safe and reliable and all these things. But now it turns out that all over the world these things are exploding, sometimes burning down the houses that they're attached to. And we just had an example of this in California a couple weeks ago. A truck hit a pole, and I guess there was a surge, and something like 5,000 or something like that of these meters blew up. on the side of houses. They destroyed a lot of appliances, blackened, receptacle electrical outlets in people's houses. And, that's
and let
crazy.
me jump in, Alex. It was, 5,000 homes, and it was Stockton, California. And as I understand, you don't go into it in full detail here, but you do mention, that there was a pole that was hitting, and that caused a surge, and that's why they exploded. So I'm kind of guessing, but who knows, that if they're just sitting on the outside of your house, chances are they're not going to explode unless somebody runs into a pole in your neighborhood. Then you have the possibility. Am I right there that they normally wouldn't explode on their own?
Actually, funny enough, they have been exploding and setting on fire on their own. There was a huge scandal about this in Canada last year. Just a bunch of them started spontaneously combusting in Pennsylvania. Some started spontaneously combusting and burned down some houses. There's a lot of problems with them. And what I thought was especially interesting, one of the manufacturers that Obama was shoveling our tax money to, part of the stimulus stuff, was a company called Census, based in North Carolina. And their meters started blowing up and lighting on fire in Canada and various other places. And then the president of the company came out and said, hey, don't blame us. This is systemic to the industry. It's not only our smart meters that are blowing up and catching on fire. He was trying to defend his company. But he hit on an important truth here. This is a systemic problem. It's not just this particular manufacturer. It's that this technology is untested, unproven, and now we know it's unsafe. It puts your home at risk, especially if you live in, a house made out of wood or something that's easily flammable. And, this is people's lives that are at risk. Suppose it blows up one night while you're sleeping and you got your kids at home and your house burns down. Are you going to collect from Obama because he was funding this with the stimulus money? So these are a real danger to people's lives and to people's property. But, the politicians don't seem to care, and that touches on the second point that I made in the article.
Well, it's strange, isn't it? If it's a Pinto that explodes, or if it's a Toyota that causes a big crash, man, there's a congressional investigation, especially on Toyota. Boy, the way they called them in and congressional hearings and embarrassed the Japanese, so to speak. But you're not hearing about these exploding meters and Census. Was that the name of the company? I didn't hear anything about them. It's amazing how they can put certain things under the radar, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, it's totally in line with the agenda. If it's a private company that made an honest mistake, they have to be raked through the coals, and capitalism is evil. And see, these companies don't care about you. But when the government creates a boondoggle like this, where you have these spy devices on the side of your house burning down and blowing up and ruining your appliances and possibly burning your house down with your family inside, absolute silence, crickets. The smart grid, we don't know anything about that. It's systemic in the industry. Sorry.
News to us, yeah. We're coming up on a break, and let me just tell you, listeners, if you don't know, they put the smart meters on there because they wanted to monitor citizens' electricity, water uses, when you're doing your laundry. But see, it also tells the smart people who are listening and monitoring the smart meters, I called them smart people. That's probably a fraudulent slip right there. It also tells them, when you're not in your home, believe it or not. But don't worry about them getting hacked, and like a burglar would know. Well, there is so much to discuss on this with Alex Newman and regular contributor to The New American. That's where this one is, thenewamerican.com. And he is also co-author of the just-released book, Crimes of the Educators, How the Utopians Are Using Government Schools to Destroy Americans' Children. We'll be right back.
Get things done with power, comfort, and speed in a Kubota RTV utility vehicle. Now you can get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 4 years during our More Power to You sales event. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 48 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Not available for rental, national accounts, governmental customers, or with some customer instant rebate offers. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation, USA, subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
For over 20 years, you've trusted Lumber Liquidators to make high-quality, beautiful flooring affordable for everyone. Delivering this value means you get the floor you want at the low price you deserve. So we've lowered prices even more. This week at beautifully distressed click strand bamboo. It's easy to install, and now it's $229. That's about half what you'll pay at other stores. Plus 200 styles of pre-finished hardwood from $169 and 12-month special financing. You trust our value. We value your trust. For quality hardwood, see the flooring experts today. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Alex Newman, a contributor to the New American, thenewamerican.com, discussing the exploding smart meters and the spy on your water use, things like that. And nothing going on here. This United States government, they're not making a big peep about it, are they? But Canada, that's different. I guess they had a whole bunch of exploding meters there, and the politicians were ignoring widespread citizen concerns, but all of a sudden they had to remove more than 100,000 devices. Wow. And then they replaced them with the old meters, huh?
Yep, and, fortunately for the citizens there of Saskatchewan, the province where this was happening, the government eventually sort of took responsibility, right? They tried to blame the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said, nope, this is systemic to the industry. It wasn't our fault. All of the companies that are making these are all exploding. But at least the people in that province in Canada are fortunate enough to have their regular old analog meters back that don't blow up, that don't catch on fire, and maybe even more importantly, that don't spy on you 24/7 and send information to the government. Americans, at least about half of Americans, are not so fortunate.
But if you live in Oregon, perhaps you might be fortunate because they replaced, wait a minute, there's good news and there's bad news. I just see this. Oregon, 70,000 smart meters replaced. That's the good news. The bad news, the taxpayers have to pay for that.
That's right. Wow. And, they caused this boondoggle with our tax money. And, on the bright side, some citizens, even though they have to pay, through their taxes and so on, are having the problem dealt with. But, even in the face of all these problems, they're still rolling out these smart meters across the country. The last numbers that I saw said something like 46% of American households now have these espionage devices, these dangerous espionage devices that can explode and catch on fire, attached to their homes. Lots of businesses have them as well. And, nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody wants to even talk about it. But, they're not going to be able to conceal this forever. As more of these things blow up, it's going to at least hit in the local news. And, all across the country, there's been quiet battles about this. The media doesn't really want to report on it. But, everywhere you go, there's citizens who are expressing their outrage and say, I don't want this thing attached to my house. There's health concerns. There's obvious safety concerns when they're blowing up. And then there's the implications for privacy and civil liberties. What I find almost the most ironic about this is the people who were expressing concerns about this years ago, in 2009 when they signed the stimulus and they said we're going to build this smart grid. Critics were saying, hey, no, wait a minute, we don't want, spy devices attached to our house that's going to allow the government to monitor literally everything that goes on in our home. Every time an appliance turns on, every time the water turns on. We don't want this kind of invasion of our privacy. And the bureaucrats and even the media say, oh, you conspiracy theorists, the government would never spy on you. And now they're bragging about it. I mean, it seems to happen so often now. At first they ridicule the people who are expressing concerns, and then it's just obvious. Now they're openly saying, well, we need these smart meters in California to see which citizens are using more than their fair share of water. And it's unbelievable the turnaround just in a few years.
And the California government, they're the ones that created this drought. You can look at all of their water bonds that they passed, and they didn't build any new reservoirs. They didn't do any, diversion streams and things like that. Nope, California. And here it is. You say right here, in fact, you were reporting the New American, April 7th, water shortages blamed on the radical big government policies that prevented the construction of reservoirs for decades under the guise of environmentalism. And to deal with the self-inflicted crisis, the smart meters will be used. And as you just mentioned, Alex, just as the opponents warned, to monitor and control citizens' water usage across California. And it ain't just the water usage. That's another big problem there. And we haven't even got into the health aspect. When we get into that, there's a lot to discuss on that. Once again, coming up on the bottom of the hour break, Alex, hate to interrupt you there, but hold your thought. I'm sure you want to talk about Moonbeam when we come back, maybe. You didn't mention his middle name, Governor Jerry Brown. Yeah, Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown and his executive orders. Smart meters, boy, if you haven't heard about them, now's the time to wake up, because I'm telling you, your health, your well-being could be in serious jeopardy. And we're going to talk more about Alex Newman, his article, Exploding Smart Meters, Spy on Your Water Use, thenewamerican.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Staples. How can I help you?
Hey, Staples guy. I need to promote my new business and do it on budget.
I can make that happen.
Can you print business cards?
Staples can print business cards, brochures, banners.
Pens?
Pens, magnets, luggage tags.
Calendars.
Calendars, sticky notes, lawn signs, and window decals.
What about foam fingers?
What color? Red, yellow, blue?
You had me at yellow.
Make on budget happen, make getting noticed happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get 40% off large banners, posters, and lawn signs.
Offer valid on all large banners, posters, and lawn signs in store and online at 6/27/15. Discount applied before taxes. May not be combined with any other offer. See store staples.com/signs for details.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. Really? They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Here on CRN, we'd like to keep you updated on what's happening in wine throughout the state of California. Napa, Sonoma, the Pacific Coast has great regions like the Central Coast area, Paso Robles, Santa Barbara, Temecula. Join our very own Larry Van Alst as he takes a look at what's cooking on wine, the Sonoma Report. It comes your way Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. right here on CRN. Winemakers, superstars, wine growers, and more. With Larry Van Alst, what's cooking on wine, the Sonoma Report.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN, Chuck Wilder with my guest Alex Newman, contributor to the New American, co-author of the new book, Crimes of the Educators, How Utopians Are Using Government Schools to Destroy America's Children. And we're talking about, in California, the California government self-inflicted drought. You need more water, but you could have prepared yourself. But then here comes along Governor Jerry Moonbeam Brown, and he writes the executive order. Okay, we got to make sure that you're not staying in the shower too long, and not only using smart meters, Alex, but he's also encouraging neighbors to call in and report if you see your other neighbor or another neighbor watering their yard, and maybe you think he's doing it too much. Perhaps that neighbor doesn't have a smart meter, huh?
I think California offers a really interesting preview of the future, if we want to put it that way. Basically, it's exactly what they're planning for the global level. First, they inflicted this massive damage on the state. California has been a desert for centuries, for millennia. Everybody knows, it should have known that it could go back to that at any time. So what do the politicians do? Rather than, say, build new reservoirs, 70% of the water that rains down in California washes straight out to the ocean. But, the political geniuses over there, they find some kind of excuse. There's some kind of desert rat that we need to protect, or some lizard or some fish or something.
The environmentalists, yes.
Exactly. And so they cause this massive problem where they have this crazy shortage of water now. And, of course, you won't let the market deal with it. You won't let, prices rise to try to limit the quantity demanded. That would just be too simple and too logical. So instead, we have Governor Moonbeam. He passes an executive order ordering a fine on all comrades who use more than their allotted rations of water.
Hey, and by the way, Alex, I got to throw this in here whenever you mention more comrades using more water than they should. A lot of those comrades are illegal lots and lots of them are illegal. So there again is a government problem added on to already the government problem and the state problem.
And
you know what?
It's typical.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's just so typical of politicians to create this problem and then propose tyranny as the solution. So fines and smart meters and snitching, and that's what's coming for the world if people don't wake up. They're going to continue causing these shortages of resources, whether it be food or energy. And, Obama is all about causing shortages of energy. He told us he wanted the price to skyrocket. And then we'll need the smart meters to make sure no comrades are using more than their rationed share.
I kind of wonder, here he is cutting down all the coal mines and nuclear reactors and all this other stuff. The smart meters don't run on solar energy, do they, or do they?
No, the smart meters, just like everything else in our society and our civilization, needs actual energy. And so, they can fantasize about unicorns and windmills and solar panels providing the needs for our civilization. But it's not going to happen. The technology is not there. It doesn't make sense. They're burning billions of dollars trying to make these kooky ideas work. Or at least that's what they tell us. I would think that that's not really what's going on, but it doesn't work, and they know that. And so, to deal with these shortages that the government is causing, they are quite literally imposing these tools of tyranny, whether it be, smart meters and encouraging citizens to rat each other out and spy on each other. It's so totalitarian. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that was going on in the Soviet Union. The government would decide how much resources each citizen gets based on the shortages that they created, and then use tyranny to implement it.
Now, and if you don't have a neighbor that's going to spy on how much water you're using, let's kind of explain, this will probably be the short version, how the smart meter works and how long it takes. I think there's like a 5-minute cycle or something.
Yeah, the smart meters that they're using in California, for the most part, every about 5 minutes or so, send off a signal explaining, what's been happening through the meter. So a lot of these advanced smart meters, they can even tell, what appliance was being used, at what time it was being used, at what, capacity it was being used. Not all the smart meters are quite that smart yet. But, I'm sure the totalitarians have no qualms about, getting that up to speed as quickly as possible. But what they do is they send out these radio waves, these radio frequency waves. And if you look at the health implications of this, I mean, we've had a lot of warnings in terms of the damage these can cause to people's health. And, from serious, credible sources that would have no reason to just fearmonger. I can read you a quick list of warnings that we got from,
yeah,
for example,
and I want to mention, I want to hear this list, but also when I had DV Kidd on, she was talking about, it's amazing how many of these smart meters are installed right next to your bedroom. It's like, that's a convenient place, and maybe they don't think about, let's put it next to the bedroom where they're sleeping. I don't know if they're thinking about that or not. Probably not, but they come up in that location. Mine, believe it or not, is about 10 feet away from me, but that's another story. Now, who am I talking to? Oh, yeah, Alex Newman. Yeah, I think it does affect you, but go ahead, read off the list, would you there?
Yeah, and actually it's the same on my house right now, too. I have it installed right on the side of my bedroom. It's about 8 feet from where I lay my head down to rest at night. And it troubles me greatly, so I'm in the process of paying the gigantic fee you have to pay to get that spy device taken off of your house. But, government bureaucracies are quite slow.
Yeah.
But here's a warning anyways that came from the American Academy of Environmental Medicine. They say multiple studies correlate radio frequency emissions with diseases such as cancer, neurological disease, reproductive disorders, immune dysfunction, electromagnetic hypersensitivity, genotoxic effects from RF exposure, including studies of non-thermal levels of exposure, in other words, not very high levels, consistently and specifically show chromosomal instability, altered gene expression, gene mutation, DNA fragmentation, and DNA structural breaks. So for people who aren't familiar with the medical terminology, in a few words, what they're saying here is that these devices have the capability of ruining your DNA and potentially causing major problems for your future unborn children. I mean, if you destroy your genes, if you destroy your DNA, it's a disaster.
And I will go back. If you've got one little screw under a carpet in your automobile that may push the mat up where you have to push extra hard on your brake pedal, you hear about it. The mainstream media talks about it. But this, RF exposure with diseases, cancer, neurological disease, reproductive disorders, immune dysfunction, electromagnetic hypersensitivity, chromosomal instability, altered gene expression, gene mutations, DNA fragmentation, DNA structural breaks. Now you know where a lot of these actors from Walking Dead apparently are coming from.
Yeah, the government did these studies. They can't claim ignorance. They can't say, oh, we didn't know that was going to happen. It's not even that they're doing a giant experiment on all of us. They've already done the studies. The studies showed them that this kind of pulsed radio frequencies that are emitted by these devices cause these kinds of problems. And still, Obama demanded money for his stimulus so that he could install them all on our houses. So what is the real agenda here? That's for every listener to decide for themselves, but I can virtually assure you that it's nothing good.
You know, a good friend of mine, frequent guest that you mentioned in this article, Tom DeWeese, by the way, just celebrated a birthday a day or two ago, gave some interesting information here because talking about, he says, it is an unconstitutional invasion of your home by government, as set down in the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And remember what Alex told you about this smart meter. You know, I guess they named it correctly, smart meter. It registers what you're doing 24 hours a day in your home. It's almost like a hidden camera, but it is amazing. It knows when your refrigerator door is open. It knows when the microwave goes on. It knows whenever this light is on and that light's on. It knows when the television's on, the television's off. And I'm telling you, and I mentioned it a moment ago, and you might think, nah, you're just, you're screaming fire in the theater here. But if you hacked somebody's smart meter, and I don't see how it would be that difficult. We talk about every 5 minutes it sends a little signal to a cell phone. Surely they couldn't hack a cell phone because that would, that'd be yes. Anyway, but if you were seriously one of the bad guys and you wanted to know when somebody wasn't home, when's the best time to break into the house, or how many people, it even tells you how many people are in your home at a given time. I think we are talking about the Fourth Amendment here.
Absolutely. And, if people don't want to believe, us or Tom DeWeese, your government told you this. The Congressional Research Service in 2012 produced a report, and they warned about all of these things. If law enforcement officers obtain this data, their ability to monitor household activities would be amplified significantly. There's no warrants here. They're just monitoring. For example, by observing when occupants use the most electricity, it's possible to discern their daily schedules. So that's a threat from public sector criminals and private sector criminals. The government has no business knowing this, and certainly burglars and murderers and rapists. That's the last thing in the world you want them to know is when you're at home and when you're gone and when you're doing what and taking your shower and so on. And the European Union actually warned about this as well. They're doing the same thing over there, rolling out this smart grid. But I found a report that they put out in 2012. It was the European Data Protection Supervisor, and their warnings are even more alarming. They say it enables massive collection of personal information from households unprecedented. The potential intrusiveness of collection is increased by the fact that the data are collected, and you may infer information about domestic activities, what members of a household are doing within the privacy of their own home. It says they're going to get detailed data regarding energy consumption down to the hour, quarter of an hour, and more. This is the government telling you that they're going to be able to spy on everything you're doing in your home, and still they're rolling it out.
Man, yeah. Massive collection of personal information going on in Europe. Are people up in arms over in Europe? Have you heard reports like we're going to storm the government, get rid of this? And chances are over there they might say, all right, you're the people. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how sometimes I get my countries mixed up. It's like, wait a minute, they're actually doing this over there? That sounds pretty good. Have you heard any repercussions coming out of this?
No, they have the same problem that we have over here in the United States with their establishment media. They're in bed with the big government types and the establishment types, and they're not really interested in reporting the truth. So this is all public information. Anybody can go to the European Union's official website and see that, as they say in their own report, deployment of smart metering may lead to tracking of everyday lives of people in their own homes, building detailed profiles of all individuals based on their domestic activities. But just like in the United States, the media doesn't want to talk about it, and the public is largely asleep at the wheel. And so these, spot devices, and that's exactly what they are being rolled out all across Europe, all across the United States, all across Canada, in Japan. So they hope to get the whole world. This is a global agenda that sustainability. They want us to be sustainable, and what they really mean is ration our energy, everything. Now they're even saying that our breath is pollution that needs to be taxed and regulated. And they're building something that George Orwell couldn't have even imagined when he wrote 1984. It's that frightening when you put all the pieces together and realize what is going on here.
And we started out with Common Core and the destruction of America's youth. Hey, and it dawned on me, and it should have dawned on me earlier, and if you haven't heard me speak with Alex Newman before, I always have to find out, because I'm asking you any repercussions over there in Europe, and this guy is very seldom in America. Where are you at right now?
Actually, today I'm in Florida, and I'm going to be here for probably another month or so before heading back across to the People's Gigantic Republic of the European Union. So,
yeah, there you go. Well, I guess I was correct, but yeah, because you're on the book tour, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a number of things over here. Got some speeches, and got to promote the book and visit family and things like that. So I'll be here for at least a little bit.
Yeah, because I figured, well, you're in Brazil, and I was going to ask you how many smart meters they have hooked up to your home over wherever, because you had, wasn't it Brazil, I think, the last time, or?
Yeah, I was in Brazil, actually, 2 years ago for this. I lived there for a long time, but I was down there for a UN sustainability summit, which was absolutely terrifying. I mean, they were so open about their agenda. It was, the media didn't really report it in the way that it was happening, but they were just so open about this notion that humans are a disease on the planet, and basically take everything in the book of Genesis, be fruitful, multiply, go subdue the earth, reverse it, and that's what the United Nations is pushing here under the guise of sustainability. They want us all packed in like sardines into these compact little cities, and everybody needs to have
21,
their water rationed.
Right?
Agenda 21, exactly. 20 years ago, at the 20-year anniversary is what I went to. 20 years ago is when they came up with the Agenda 21, and that's exactly what's going on here. I mean, smart meters and all of these related elements are all part of this global agenda. And, people say, oh, that sounds like a conspiracy theory. Go read the Agenda 21 documents. They're right there. It's right in front of your face. Nobody's even hiding it from you. So, don't listen to the talking heads. Go do the research yourself.
And, even when they give out the reports, we keep telling you, the government warned you about smart meters, but it's easier to say it's a conspiracy. Well, when Alex and I and others are up in heaven looking down, we can say we told you so, but unfortunately, our, grandchildren and friends that are still down there, yep, there you go. Hey, we're going to come back in just a moment, and I'm going to ask Alex Newman, because I know with Common Core, one of the solutions might be a class action lawsuit, I think is what it's called. And I'm wondering about smart meters. Then I look at your links you have on this article, and very interesting. Smart, what was it? Yeah, smart TV spying on you. But the TV's not hooked onto your house, and it's apparently not causing cancer. And, I can't say that because we don't have that much time, all the effects. Alex Newman, he'll be right back. It's thenewamerican.com. thenewamerican.com. Don't go away.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kvhmaui.com. That's kvhmaui.com. Aloha.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. Is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you? It's springtime in the Southland, and the yucca filamatusa are in bloom, and so is the hunger and thirst for good times. Palate-pleasing, mouth-watering steaks, yes! Neptune's gifts of the freshest fish direct from the 7 seas, oh yes! Columbo's delectable Italian family specialties that shame the competition, yes! Jazz every night, check! All at such reasonable prices, yes, yes, yes! And might I add one more yes? Thank you. Let us not forget their award-winning meatballs, oh yes! Columbo's. It's more than the stuff of urban legend. It is that good. Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. Yes. Manja.
Homeowners, there's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home and loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Call now. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
The Doug Stephan Good Day program, early morning radio, and I guess it is radio, although it's radio on TV because this is CRN Digital Talk. You can find out what's going on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Stephan's Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
Everybody's talking at me.
My guest, Alex Newman, contributor to the New American, thenewamerican.com, talking about these exploding smart meters spying on you, and these devices funded billions of American taxpayer dollars, that's right, to the 2009 stimulus scheme that was passed by the Democrats in Congress and demanded by you-know-who, King Obama. And Alex, the co-author of the new book, Crimes of the Educators, and in that book, I don't have it with me, but I think I read in the book somewhere that one way to try to stop Common Core and the attack on America's youth was it a class action lawsuit? Was that the word you used? And I may be way off here on that.
Actually, there's a few legal tactics that have met with some success, and class action is one of the possibilities. In Missouri, and this happened much more recently, even before, way after our book was already at the printer. In Missouri, they just succeeded in having the testing regime declared unconstitutional because, well, for a number of reasons, but basically they went to a judge and said, hey, this is an interstate compact. The Constitution prohibits interstate compacts, so kind of like treaties between the states, if Congress hasn't approved them. And, even though the federal government kind of came up with this idea and funded the idea and funded the National Governors Association and funded the front groups that promoted this and funded the organizations that produced these tests, the court agreed that this was an interstate compact, and so they said these tests are unconstitutional. You may not spend one more penny of public money on this consortia, they called it, And so that, at least for the time being, has killed the testing regime in the state of Missouri. And that's, I think a lot more important than most people realize, because the testing, again, is crucial to the whole Common Core agenda. If they don't have the test to enforce it and to gather the data, teachers and school districts and schools will have a lot more freedom to do what they like, regardless of what the U.S. Department of Education does. Or even
as the book points out too, there's lots of teachers that don't like Common Core. Now, real quick before we run, I've got 1 minute left here. So they're going to do the class action against Common Core. What about the smart meters? Is that possible? Would it be on the Fourth Amendment?
I think there's a number of very viable legal attacks on these smart meters. I mean, first of all, the Fourth Amendment argument. They are quite literally gathering sensitive private information about us without any kind of warrant. And they're boasting about it in California. They're saying, haha, we're using your smart meters to catch you comrades who aren't working for the good of the collective. So they're telling us that they're violating our privacy. They're not getting any kind of warrant to do it. And so I think that's one very viable attack. Another one is just the danger that this poses. We just had 5,000 of them blow up. Suppose, somebody had been standing next to it, or suppose a house burned down with a baby inside.
5,000.
That's an imminent threat.
Boy.
5,000
smart meters
everywhere.
Exploded. Wow. It is unbelievable. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to move my studio or move the smart meter. I don't know. Hey, Alex, all out of time. If they want to get a copy of the book, Crimes of the Educators, Amazon.com, and where else?
Amazon.com, WND Superstore, and bookstores and big retailers all across the country. So.
All right, WND Superstores. All right, WND. Thank you very much, sir, and be looking forward to our next visit.
Thank you, as always.
All right, Alex Newman, co-author, Crimes of the Educators. And you can read this article, Exploding Smart Meters. Go to thenewamerican.com, thenewamerican.com. Hey, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for all your help, Paul Stern. And please remember that no animals, as far as we know, were injured during the production of this program.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channels. The radio channels. CRN.
Plus. Welcome to Healthline Live, brought to you every day at the same time, Monday through Friday. Your host is Dr. Bob Marshall, Ph.D., a clinical nutritionist for over 35 years. He has successfully helped thousands of people. He's known for nutrition that really works. He's here today to share nutritional secrets which have taken years of discovery and which he has implemented for his own health journey. The all-natural, excipient-free, live-source products that Dr. Marshall recommends have been created using the highest manufacturing standards available for dietary supplements. Dr. Marshall's comments have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. On each and every show, Dr. Marshall listens to your health and nutrition questions and provides education for your continued good health. And now, here's Dr. Marshall.
Welcome to Healthline Live. We're here to answer your nutrition and health-related questions. You can reach us toll-free, 888-588-7576. That's 888-588-7576. And you can also visit us online, hear prior broadcast, tell a friend, join us for our 1-hour Saturday show. Much, much more. QNLabs.com. www.qnlabs.com. And don't forget, every day that we come to you, we got a blockbuster special to reward you and your family for tuning in so you can enjoy and keep your very best health. And it's interesting, all the weird things people try to get to their health instead of the simplest things. And today is a good example. Many people have issues with their mood, and of course we know that much of that may be related to just eating white flour and white sugar, make-believe food, which end up forcing you to have make-believe health. So if you don't like make-believe health, then get away from white flour and white sugar, and maybe for 6-8 months or a year, as you reinoculate your microbiome, that's the bacteria from your sinus to your anus, as you're doing that, get on a really good B vitamin like our Max Stress B, because everybody knows that B vitamins are so important for a healthy mood and a great sense of well-being. And Max Stress B is the easiest way to get it. It's end-chain forms ready to serve you. That's one step. But if you're really unhappy with your mood and you really want a serotonin boost, then today's special, our Quantum Noni, is for you, because this is known to promote serotonin production, make you feel happy, and it also tends to promote better digestion and immune response. And you don't need tons of them. 1 or 2 or maximum 3 capsules in a day. And that just, see if you don't really feel the difference in your mood. And that's going to be on special today. Our Quantum Noni, you'll buy one, get the second one 50% off. That's 25% off each. Give a buzz to our order line, and they'll be happy to help you. That's 800-370-3447. 800-370-3447. All right. Let's go right to the phones. Let's go to Rudy in Modesto, California, and he's got some issues with his ears being plugged up with wax, and every couple of months he has to see the doctor. Yuck. Are you there, Rudy?
Yes, actually it's Ruben, not Rudy.
Ruben, I'm so sorry. All right, and how old a man are you, and how much do you weigh?
I'm 66, and I weigh 160, but the last time I went to the doctor, they told me I weighed 137, but
Whoa.
I don't believe I do weigh that much. I lost that much
Lost
weight.
some weight. Okay. The ear plugging is the wrong kind of wax, so you're not getting enough of the good kind of oil, Ruben. So you want to get on some olive oil, a really good quality olive oil, maybe 2 tablespoons per day, and get some DHA, maybe 5 DHA per day, and you would take these oils at your main protein meal, which should be lunch. And it sounds like if you're losing weight that you may not be digesting your food well. At your age, you cannot eat cooked food without taking digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid. So you should get on 2 Quantum Digest at the start of a meal, and the most important supplement on the planet, betaine hydrochloride, and you would take about 4 of those at the end of the meal. And if you forget and take everything at the end of the meal, it works almost as good. And
one more thing, I have like itching in my ears, and one more question I have, that does the ear have to do anything with the brains? Because sometimes, my brains tremble.
yes, the ears also have to do with your teeth. You may have problem with your gums, and that could drain into the ears. So if you find that things are not getting better the way they should, give a buzz to the order line and visit with someone who knows quantum reflex analysis, QRA, in the Modesto area there, okay?
Alrighty, and I like to drink coffee, but I want to know what could I replace it with.
Well, you drink the coffee because it makes you alert. You drink the coffee because you like the taste. Why do you drink the coffee?
I like to drink it in the morning, in the morning when I eat my breakfast.
Why?
Well, yeah, I do like it because I like it.
Does it wake you up?
Just because I like it.
Okay.
I'm not addicted to it, but I just because I like it.
Well, it would be better for you not to. And your breakfast, you should work to eat now.